Whoops, sorry about all that wiggling. This is Jane Fendelman, Sunday, July 20, 6, 24, 25, something like that, 2014. Had a friend recently ask me to do a video post about love. I don't know if that's making my hand shake or not. Let me try and switch here. My hand's resting on the steering wheel. I was very inspired going up and coming down the mountain. In love, both people have a responsibility. He wanted me to speak. A friend of his is going through some trouble, and he wanted me to speak about when one person is obsessed or addicted to, or even just loving another person more than they love you. These, of course, are gradations of the same issue, which is that both people are not in it with both feet. So it goes from the lightweight occurrence of it, which is there's someone that, and you really, really like them. You really like this person, and they're just not into you. Whoops. You really, really like them. You're attracted to them. They're not attracted to you. There's that. There's also being in a committed relationship where one person always feels like they're the one moving it forward. You feel like you're rowing the boat and the other person's not really trying very hard. There's that, those relationships, and some of them, they're already deep into a commitment and they've been going on for some time. Hi. I don't know why people are so interested in when I sit in my car and do my recording. Somehow that's interesting. It is interesting. Then it can escalate all the way up to the extreme where there's a stalker, or where there's someone, the person this person was telling me about actually developed a trauma bond. And I've seen that happen before. As a hospice worker, I've started to experience it. That's why I say there's a responsibility on both parties, on both parts. There's the person who is falling for the person, and there's the person who's being fallen for. You can feel it. If you're the person being fallen for, and you can feel the person that you're in this relationship with, their energy is going more toward you than you feel toward them. It is your responsibility to start setting healthy boundaries. You have to be honest. Most people would rather be hurt with the truth than be hurt with a lie. Most people feel angry and they feel like, I'm a fool. You let me be a fool. If you don't tell them the truth, don't try and just be polite or let them down easy if they're not getting it. Let them off the hook and say, I just feel platonic affection for you. It's a responsibility. Now, if it's a stalker, get a restraining order. If it's somebody obsessed with you, tell them that you refuse to have contact with them until they do a number of sessions with a counselor. That's an obsession or an addiction. That's not healthy. So let's talk about the responsibility of the person who's falling in love. You know, people say the heart wants what the heart wants, and I can't help it, and I'm attracted to you. And that is bull, man, because if you're attracted to somebody who's not attracted to you, all that means is you have a fear of love and you're trying to get what you can't have. So just face facts and own up to it, and don't BS yourself. If you're hooked on somebody you can't have or who doesn't want you back, flip and be honest with yourself and wake the up. Now, if you spend a lot of time with somebody because you're lonely or they're hot for you and that's flattering and it's puffing up your ego, that is very wrong. You're using them. And Einstein laid out this theory called spooky action at a distance when he was alive, and it couldn't be proven. And then long after he was dead, when they finally could do such a thing, they found out that he was right. He named it spooky action at a distance because it's actually very spooky. This is why I love science and spirituality. Love them both, because they're all the same thing. So spooky action at a distance is when two cells hang around each other long enough, not cells, sorry, atoms, leptons, photons, quarks, bosons, subatomic particles. When they hang around each other long enough, sorry, I had to get really small there for a minute. It's very small, subatomic particles. You can only see them through an extremely high-powered microscope. When they hang around each other long enough, they start spinning at the same speed and in the same direction. And when they could finally do an experiment with these photons, one scientist took these two quarks, I guess. I'll have to look it up again to remember exactly what size matter they were. But they were spinning in the same speed at the same direction. And he took one and he shot it across the ocean and into this other scientist's lab. And both scientists watched these quarks, and when one affected his or hers in his or her lab and changed the velocity or the direction, the other quark that was all the way across the ocean changed too to match it. So there's a thing called spooky action at a distance, and when we hang around somebody long enough or hang around them enough, our quarks, leptons, bosons start spinning in the same direction and at the same speed, and we sync up with them. So you have a responsibility to tune into that and know when that's happening. If you're not into another person and they're into you, you need to cut down on the time that you spend with them, politely and with love. And also, if you're the person falling, you have a responsibility to pay attention to the signs. There are signs when somebody's not that into you. They're not calling you as much as you call them, or asking you to get together and go out as much as you ask them, or texting you, or thinking of you, or liking your things on your Facebook. You have a responsibility to pay attention. Oh, and about cheating. When someone cheats on someone. When someone cheats on someone, it is a really rotten, low-down, dirty thing to do. The person cheating, the cheater. Don't cheat. Don't be a cheater. Have the guts. If you're not happy in that relationship, have the guts to flip and leave. To say, you know what, I'm just not into this, and I gotta go. Have the guts. Have the guts. But if you're the one being cheated on, there are signs. And you can say, oh no, Jane, he was a really good liar. She was really, really sneaky. No, there are no signs. Yes, there's signs. And the signs are you're not as close or connected as you should be. There's an intensity of connection between two people that are on the same page. And love really is not about hanging on, because if you really love somebody and they would be happier with somebody else, if you really love them, you want them to be with that other person. If you really, really love somebody and they're longing for someone else, you want them to be with that other person. That's real love. And on the way up the mountain, I was thinking about the clouds and how there's different kind of clouds and the water molecules hang together in certain ways. And then sometimes they float off and disappear into thin air, and then sometimes they connect up and link up and make another new kind of cloud, and sometimes they all get really heavy with it and then they rain and storm. And we're like those water molecules in those clouds. And we don't need to hang on. And love takes so many different forms. I was thinking about how much I love my friends this weekend. And my family. And I'm so lucky to have so much love in my life. And it's okay to want love, romantic love, but I'll tell you one thing. If you're waiting and wanting romantic love with an aching, you're practicing aching. And we feel the feelings later on that we marinate in now. So practice feeling the feelings that you want to feel later. So if you want a beloved and you ache for him or her to show up, you'll be achy after they do show up, because that's what you've been practicing. So practice feeling the feelings that you want to feel now. And if you're chasing somebody who's not into you, pay attention and leave them alone. And if you have somebody and you can tell they're getting hooked on you, let them go. Say, I think of you as a friend. That's how I think of you. As a friend. A friend. All right, my friends. I hope you're having an amazing weekend. And I hope you're not chasing love. And I hope you're not leading somebody down the garden path when it's not going anywhere. Be responsible. Be responsible with the hearts of the people around you.